Hi, how are you today? Tuesday, June 4th, I guess we are at. Thought I would try to give you a little bit of a more upbeat message today, an update of what's going on with me and medical and all that stuff. Um, Trying to sit out in the fresh air, watching my grass grow. Anyway, got a call from my oncologist this morning, basically confirming what we talked about yesterday, that they were pretty much out of options of things that she could do, or my team here in Western Mass could do. And we're going to reconnect with Dr. Jill Allen, who is the doctor I saw in Boston, the oncologist in the GI unit, specializes in colon and a couple other GI cancers. But she's out at some big shindig in Chicago for specialty oncologists this week that I hear is going on. So I hope they learn a lot of good new stuff. So I'm going to call her and follow up and see if they have any suggestions, any options, any clinical trials. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do that's an MGH, Massachusetts General Hospital. I've also talked to Dana-Farber again. I went to Dana-Farber once before just to say, hey, here's all my scans and my results and all that stuff, and this is what's going on. What do you think? And they more or less agreed with everything that had been going on at the time. But anyway, I'm going to go back to them also, and for the same reason, follow up. Here's where we are today, and I'm looking for somebody who has some kind of an idea of, well, let's try this. And then thirdly, I'm also going to, we're making contact with MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, supposed to be one of the best in at least the United States, if not the world, and see what they might have clinically for clinical trials and stuff that we can try. The unique thing is, I don't know how much you've been following me on this, but some of you know that I was on I followed a Rick Simpson oil protocol. If you're not sure what that is, if you go to the web page, Canna Cure, CANNACURE.com. That's a blog of mine. I honestly have not written in it probably since February, since I went back on chemo and got really sick again. But the very first blog post I made in there was a video about Rick Simpson and Rick Simpson oil and the effects of high THC dose medical marijuana and its effects on cancer on some people. The very unique thing was in February when I got sick, when I went back on Full Fury, which is the name of the chemo that I was on, was about the time I started with the Rick Simpson oil. And over the I ended chemo on February 21st. From February 21st, February, March, all of April, up through my liver surgery and recovery after that, my tumor markers continued to decrease for that entire time. Until about 2 weeks ago, after which I had finished the Rick Simpson protocol. I had done 61 grams of Rick Simpson oil within the 90-day window that it suggests, and pretty interesting how my markers went down after not being on chemo for over 2 months. My research has found that chemo stays in your body roughly a week to maybe 10 days, I guess, if you're lucky, which is probably why they schedule it every 2 weeks. Let it get through your system and then let your system get a little bit of recovery before you whack the crap out of it again. But my tumor markers went down, and as soon as I finished that and went off it, my last CEA score, which was, I forgot the date now, but not the one I had yesterday, but the one I had last week, my tumor markers had gone up from the normal range higher than they've ever been since I was diagnosed with cancer. That was pretty disturbing. But my local Marnie, Margaret Scott, who's my oncology PA here in Western Mass, she called me today to let me know, because she knows that, you know, you don't hang your hat on CEA as it when it comes to cancer diagnosis or whatever, but for me, a layman, that's about all I have, because I don't get the rest of it. That my markers had dropped. So they went from the normal range is, well, I think 0 to 3 for white guys like me. I think for male, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. Where were we? So the normal, I'm reading for CEA for white men is 0 to 3. And if you're a black male, it's 0 to 5. I'm just telling you what I read. I don't understand the numbers and why it's different, but you know, we are all very different. But my tumor markers had gotten down to 2.9, then they went up. I mean, they were bouncing around in the normal range. But then when I finished the Rick Simpson oil, it went up to 19 point something, which is higher than it had ever been. And today it's, the CEA test I had yesterday was down to 10.4, I think she said. Maybe 12. I don't remember the exact number now, but the big thing is it came down quite a bit, which, what's the explanation? I have no clue. Divine intervention. Thank you, God. Thank you, Kina. Got to stop at my old office today. Only the parking lot, but we were there around noontime to drop off something for a friend of mine who was on my relay team, and she couldn't make the actual relay itself, so we dropped her shirt off to her in Hadley. And of course, out in the parking lot where everybody's coming back from lunch, I got to see a whole bunch of my old coworkers, and that was sort of nice. I'm sad they're still working and not retired, because being retired is a whole lot better. And I got to see Wendy and just a whole bunch of folks, and Kina. As soon as I saw her, it was pretty nice. Anyway, thanks, Kina. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you. But it reminded me of being at Oasis Christian Fellowship in wherever the heck I used to live, Carlsbad, New Mexico. When you had people praying over and laying hands on you, it was moving. So anyway, let's keep this upbeat. So I've talked to Dr. McCleary's office. Dr. McCleary's an oncologist at Dana-Farber, and she's the one I saw before. And we're going to make an appointment, go back and see her, and see what kind of clinical trials or possibilities there are in Dana-Farber. And then lastly, I'm also contacting MD Anderson and possibly going out to Houston because I have found a couple clinical trials there. Now, whether I'm a candidate for it, I don't know, but I'm going to at least talk to them. And you know, these are the big guns. These are the people who these are the people in the medical field who know the most. And So we're we're trying everything. We're looking at everything. We're looking at oxygen therapy, thermobaric. I don't even know the names of all the stuff we're looking at, but again, when you're at stage 4 colon cancer, the where we're all going to end up is eventually there. I'm sorry to say that I'm fighting this now, and now going to have to fight it for another 20 years if I'm going to live to be almost 90. My dad made it well into his 80s. My mom's 95. It's a year ago today my Uncle Bud passed, June 3rd last year. 93, I think he was, or maybe he would have been 93 today, I don't know, but well into the 90s. My family's got longevity, and I'm not intending on breaking that streak. So those are all good things, and one good positive, sort of like spitting in the ocean, but I guess I'm HER2 positive, which is a common thing for women who have breast cancer. And there is a immunotherapy drug for those people. Well, I say women, I guess it could be male or female. Men do get breast cancer too, but just not as often as you ladies. There is a drug out there, and I can't begin to remember the name of it. But it's not approved for patients with colon cancer. This is where the bureaucracy, whoops, sorry about that. This is where the bureaucracy comes into play. And I was told that, there's a, I guess a bureaucratic process for a doctor to go through to say, hey, I want to try this drug on somebody, and here's the reason why. And when you're in my situation, the reason is good enough, and so it's now just finding out, and I'm not even sure if doing that's going to do anything for my cancer. Maybe that's just a part of my gene makeup. I don't understand this molecular and genetic stuff. You try to read it, it's like reading alphabet soup. You have to look up for it every 3 words because I can't understand any of it. But anyway, that's where we start. I'm sorry, this was meant to be a nice short video, and here we are at the 13-minute mark. And I ramble. It's what I can do. I can't write, but I can ramble now. So anyway, this is a good day. I'm working on a playlist that I did have to go to my kids and ask them how to create a playlist, and I was shown. And I'm creating a playlist of upbeat, rah-rah music. Brave, Sarah Bareilles, and that kind of thing. So if you have any suggestions, that'd be the best comment for you to make. Give me some good songs. I don't mean just fast-paced songs. I mean songs of encouragement, songs of belief, songs of faith, songs of never giving up. Love you guys. See you on the flip side. Hopefully that's tomorrow.